Alright guys, so now we are going to continue the timeline for the phase 1 and phase 2. So before that we're going to change slightly the title because the main title number 1 is actually the cost, in which we have capex, and then we have capex for phase 0, phase 1 and 2. So this is what we are doing now. So now we're going to actually copy past the full phase 0 because we know that our formula work well, and we are just going to change the timeline. So here for phase 1 we have 3 wells, for each well is 3 months for the drilling each. And we also have a preparation for the oil EPF. So in our model, the oil EPF will be rented. So it means that we are not going to suffer a lot of preparation work. The main cost will be done by the contractor, and that's why it's an expensive one to rent. But the purpose is that we don't have to suffer. We can just get out of it as soon as we don't need it anymore. So here we are. We start with oil EPF prep work. And this one will start right away after we finish the phase 0. So for this, we're going to use a function which is maximum of the to date that is in phase 0. Because if, for instance, the drilling well number 1 lasts not 3 months but 6 months, we're going to be delayed in phase 1. So that's why we take the maximum. And here we're going to ensure to have the same cascade after. So it's a 12 months from June 25. For drilling well number 2, will start in the same time as the oil EPF prep work. So we're going to just align the formula, and it's going to last 3 months. So we should put a 0 here. Yeah, exactly. So now we're going to pass to our drilling well number 2, 3, 4, and 5. So basically, because drill number 2 is equal to the start in the same time as the oil EPF, we are going to just basically remove the variable for the delay and just align with the beginning of the oil EPF work. But for the others will start after the drilling well number 2 is done. So we're going to keep this delay just in case. The purpose of being so granular is because once we finish the model and we want to see what impact the economics, here we will be able to put some variable to use Monte Carlo analysis, and that's why we keep it a bit more tedious, and it requires a bit more of accuracy. Now we ensure the formula flow in the same way, and here our formula are still good. That's why we just check, but we don't need to do much work here. Now we're going to do phase 2. So phase 2 is about 2 trains, train number 1 and train number 2, and they are staggered. So it means that train number 1 will start at the maximum, at the last date of phase 1, and train number 2 will start 6 months after the train number 1 start. Regarding the wells, here there is a little trick. So basically, instead of writing 5, 6, 7, 8, we're going to just use numerical suite, and then we're going to just make a simple formula that use the value end, and we're going to just drag down the formula. Now we can remove so now we're going to just copy past in order that we have hardcode formulas for drilling well number 5, 6, 7, 8, and we can remove the cells that we use to build this formula. So regarding the train number 1 starts in July 26th. I think here we will have to come back because it's fortunate that the oil EPF is the latest, but maybe if we have some delay, maybe we should put actually a maximum formula in this one. So for train number 2, you can see it's like 6 months after the beginning of train number 1. And regarding the drilling well, we are using the same rationale as before, meaning that drilling well number 5 will start in the same time that we start train number 1, and every other well will just follow the same rationale. So here we assume that we have only one oil rig, a drilling oil rig, and so that's why we only do one by one. But we cannot lose too much time, so as soon as we finish one, we just keep doing to do the next one. But if we were to have 2 oil drilling rig, we will be able to actually staggered and make more together. So here we're going to just extend so that we still can see the number 1 and number 2 on our timeline. And here we can see how it goes. So now we're going to remove the extra lines that we don't need, and we have a proper timeline now. I see you on the other.